I almost missed it.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain.
Yum, yum.
Hello, Resistance fans. You're listening to the Bunk Podcast, the objective voice of objection for this most objectionable world. I am Andy, not my real name, so good luck finding me, Monsieur Bloom. My real name is, in fact, Andrew, and I live in, note this down, a deluded pseudo-reality of my own making, which is, in fact, the most densely populated place on Earth these days, overcrowded, some might say. Joining me, as always, my next-door neighbour in these Netherlands of nonsense. It's Alice.
Yes, indeed, it is Alice. Alice, who the bleep is Alice? I am not going to tell you that, but you can just sort of sense it from the timbre of my voice.
Let's spin the wheel and find out where we're getting today's news from. Here. It's coming from here. I must get a new wheel with at least one other place on it. And the headline today, Alice, our borders are safe. We can all sleep easy in our well-bordered beds.
Auto drive now enabled.
Were deported last month. These illegal
auto drive now disabled.
Just by existing, and of course illegality is contagious. It can osmote through your skin just by standing next to an illegal person. So we've got rid of 4,000 of them. My question for you, Alice, is why only 4,000? Is that really enough? I will not feel safe until at least another 75 million people have been deported from this country, and I'm here in Britain on my own.
As a bleeding heart lefty, Andy, I would normally be outraged about this, but really I think mass deportation is a very handy way to break up with a partner. I'm sorry, baby, I love you, but an anonymous source has reported you for snoring really loudly in a French way.
So, everyone out. No exceptions, Alice, not even you. It's for the good of the country. Everyone out. Unless you can prove that your family are in the background on the Bayeux Tapestry cheering on King Harold at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Get out. Actually, that's not British enough. Unless you can show, unarguably, that your direct bloodline is untainted by anything since before the Romans. Actually, scratch that. Unless your direct ancestor was personally responsible for building Stonehenge, get out of my country. I guess when you look at it, you know, the best ways to stop immigration, apart from, obviously, the end of the world, to make the place you want to stop people coming to as unpleasant as possible. So,
well, we absolutely are doing that, Andy.
Well, you know, fair play to the government for helping us with that. Another option, extend the White Cliffs of Dover. They've been resting on their laurels for too long. Very inefficient, it turns out, as a means of stopping immigration. We need to extend them by about another 11,000 miles, a full wrap around Great Britain, and they could do with being about 1.5 kilometres.
If you're feeling out of your depth or like you could use a breather, you can always call on your new teammates to step in. It's your call.
That's the advantage of working together instead of alone.
No, Andy, I didn't hear that one.
Boom. Set up, punchline. Classic. For those of you unfamiliar with it, the Immigration Processing Centre is, of course, where so many of our guests to Britain go for a longer than desirable game of involuntary hide and seek. You are listening to The Bar. I will conclude by saying, out of all the things wrong with Britain today, I think immigration is right up there, Alice. When you think of all the health professionals we've stolen from overseas over the years here in Britain, it's quite possible that all these people are just coming here to try to get an appointment.
You have reached your destination.
Yes, Andy, certainly as someone who came from the expanded arm of the empire when Britain was still reaching out rather than folding in on itself. Most of us just come here to visit our stuff in the museums.
It's the British way.
Speaking of international movement, Britain has recalled all European ambassadors after a spy scandal. I think this is probably a good thing, because British foreign politicians are always putting their foot in their mouth. How much worse can they do if they're not there?
Hey, how are you? Look, be cool. Don't act surprised. You want to chat?
Oh, shit! You're Dedsec, right? You gotta help me.
Sure, maybe. What's up?
I got this mate, yeah? Man's not doing too good.
some chronic condition, I don't know. With the national health the way it is, man hasn't been able to get any treatment. He got hooked up with his wonky doctor. Works with Clan Kelly. I don't like it, but I paid for the treatment. Someone had to.
Go on.
It wasn't long before my mate started getting hooked on the drugs. As soon as that happened, the fucking doctor started asking for more dosh. My mate's getting bled dry, and I don't even know what to do.
What an absolute cock. Don't worry, mate. We'll get your friend his meds.
Well, this quote-unquote doctor is a real winner. He was struck off the medical register for gross malpractice last year, and now he's a freelance mob surgeon. Nice work if you can get it.
Do you think you can track him down, Bags?
I am quite literally always tracking everyone down. Pushing you his coordinates now.
Bagley managed to conquer London. Pretty much my favourite topic. I could talk for hours.
Coming up in today's episode of The Upload, we're talking about how Bagley managed to conquer London. Pretty much my favourite topic. I could talk for hours about the rise of the AI system. It's easy to forget about its origins. It's so present everywhere we go now. Bagley just kind of blends into the background.
Bagley is the service AI that's present in every optic device. Whether you're using the optic, Bagley will be there. The AI...
If you're feeling out of your depth or like you could use a breather, you can always call on your new teammates to step in. It's your call.
That's the advantage of working together instead of alone.
In my mind, it's no surprise that Bagley became so popular. It's funny, useful, fast. It's a great companion and really just makes life so much easier. I mean, when you look back at all the service AIs that used to exist, they just can't compete. When you ask Bagley anything, there's a quick answer and loads of information available to you. One day, I let Bagley answer all of my messages for a whole 24 hours and no one even noticed the difference.
The other competitors really just couldn't compete with Bagley. Their answers were so much worse. They didn't understand anything. And Bagley pretty much gets everything right first time. Do you have any idea why Bagley really beat all the competition?
Well, it's really the data, isn't it? Ever since Broker hooked up with Bloom, that's when things changed.
And really, that's not actually that great. Bloom has data on everybody. They collect information about everything you're doing across the web through your optic headset. Isn't the AI only good because of Bloom surveillance?
Well, I suppose so, but I prefer not to talk about that side of things. Bagley is so special because it's been trained on this huge cache of information. That's how these AI systems work, or at least used to work. I mean, we don't really know that much about the latest version because there's so much secrecy around the tech. But they're given a huge amount of training data. It's basically a huge database that's used to speak to AI about patterns in their behaviour. You know, so if you always travel the same into your house, it can predict when you're going to go and get a self-driving car ready.
This is an announcement. For your
The Clan Kelly doctor you're looking for is close by. And he's got a highly secure laptop with him too. That should contain the whereabouts of the drug shipment. There's the laptop.
search of the area. Someone's playing with that vehicle. They'll regret when I catch up to them.
on.
Whose spider is this? Lock it down. This is someone's spider. Find them. Drone, have a look around.
Not finding anything. Gonna move on.
Drone, sweep this.
Laptop scraped. Get to safety while I analyse the data.
Dipshit's here. We just have to find them.
I found them at a warehouse where the experimental drugs are being stored. I'm sure Mary Kelly won't mind if you nick a few.
The Bug. Objective voice of objection for a most objectionable topic. Hello, Bugsters. Welcome to The Bug, the comedy show that holds up the Medusa of satire to the already immovably concrete face of modern Britain. I'm Andy. I beg... The Bug. Objective voice of objection for a most objectionable world. Hello, Bugsters. Welcome to The Bug, the comedy show that holds up the Medusa of satire to the already immovably concrete face of modern Britain. I'm Andy, I bench 480, and I can crack a tree in half just by looking at it. Can I? Well, what is reality anymore, anyway? Alice, what do you bench?
I bench body weights.
Right.
Well, not my body weight.
Okay.
Body weight of a baby.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to give that kind of detail. Just
It's very
body weight.
impressive. People look at me and go, where did you get that baby?
Yeah. You are listening to The Bug.
In this week's Truth News, according to an official poll, 98% of Londoners are very happy with CTOS, and I am not sure that I agree with this, Andy. I don't think 98% of Londoners have ever in the history of London ever agreed on anything. You could not get 98% of Londoners to agree that oxygen was better than breathing a fog of raw liquid feces. And they expect us to believe that everyone agrees CTOS is better than not.
The Bug.
Uploaded a picture, but tap that. And
Strange flat and east.
The Bug. Objective voice of
If you're feeling out of your depth or like you could use a breather, you can always call on your new teammates to step in. It's your call.
That's the advantage of working together instead of alone.
All right, we're here.
In theory, the AR reconstruction should allow me to use various sources of surveillance data to rebuild past events. Access a data relay, and I can scrape all the metadata for this area.
The more badasses, the merrier, right?
yeah, this is gonna be real. Let's do it.
Hell yes.
Wait, what?
That sounds sweet.
I'm detecting a vehicle nearby with at least 2 years' worth of treatments inside. That's more than enough to wean our contact's friend off the treatment.
Noted.
Stay. What's an asshole? I guess.
That's it. Now, let's take this autocratic wet dream for a test drive.
Sorry, was not so.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
Cool. It's like watching people from another dimension.
You're right. We definitely need this extremely cool thing I want for investigating Zero Day. Shit, for some reason I can't clone it to our servers. All right, access the network here and let's see if we can't find out where to nick one. Located the CTOS hub.
The importation report for dairy products is in. Persons found in possession of contraband will be prosecuted.
Aha! The SIRS has deployed this technology at their HQ, and I've just nabbed their manual on how to set up the system. Now, Scarpa, you can't steal their toy if they throw you in the gulag.
Jesus, here, let me help you. All right, Bags, hit me. How do I get you this AR reconstruction stuff?
The program is hosted on a server that's on the roof of SIRS. Good news, it's time to put your life on the line for the Resistance.
Finally, what took you so long? Sorry, dumb question, but what is a heavy lifter and where can I get one?
Well, let's put our thinking caps on, shall we? Now, who it... London would have access to a construction drone. Could it be a construction worker?
Thanks, Bagley. You can shut up now.
Not so hard, was it? There's an active construction yard nearby. I dare say you'll probably be able to find a construction worker to recruit there. Here's the coordinates.
Right.
Well, not my body weight.
There's the vehicle with the drugs in it. Try not to destroy it.
What makes this vehicle so special?
Wish I knew.
Track them down.
How about you come out and I'll kill you? thing.
It still needs to be recognisably vehicle-shaped when you're done with it. Stop smashing into things.
I'm moving on. Don't find anything wrong. I'll keep looking. Heads up! Look, that's not on. Lock it down. We need to lock this shit down. Shit! Having a laugh? I think that's alive. They can't have got far. I'll keep looking. Lock that down, just to be safe. Get your ass out here and find them.
Someone's broken in. Run a scan. Yeah, I think that's that. Stop looking.
Attention, flat tire
Right, so we've
detected.
got the vehicle.
Please
Now
repair
what?
as soon
I
as
found a safe
possible.
location where our friend can pick it up. Sending you the coordinates now.
The Medusa of satire to the already immovably concrete face of modern Britain. I'm Andy, I bench 480 and I can crack it apart just by looking at it. Can I? Well, what is reality anymore? Alice, what do you bench?
I bench body weights.
Right.
Well, not my body weight.
Okay.
Body weight of a baby.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to give that kind of detail. Just
Very
body weight.
impressive. People look at me and go, where did you get that baby?
Attention, flat tire detected.
In this week's True
Please
News,
repair as soon as
official
possible.
poll, 98% of Londoners are very happy with CTOS, and I am not sure that I agree with this, Andy. I don't think 98% of Londoners have ever in the history of London ever agreed on anything. You could not get 98% of Londoners to agree that oxygen was better than breathing a fog of raw liquid feces. And they expect us to believe that everyone agrees CTOS is better than not choking on shit mist.
I mean, maybe they just spent 98% of one specific Londoner.
Attention. Attention,
shares
flat
in
tire
Force
detected.
tentacles grew into
Please
an
repair
premise
as
of the
soon as
country.
possible.
I mean, this is not just any old poll. We should say that this is not any poll. This is an official poll, right in the very heart of government. It's not a knockoff, fake poll of an elderly couple and their mangy old dog sitting on a bench waiting to die. This
Attention,
is an official
flat tire
poll.
detected.
So let's just put those words.
Please
official
repair as
poll
soon as
through an
possible.
online translator in case you didn't study languages. Let's find out what it actually means. Made up lie. There we go. Glad to clear that up. I think it's fair to say, entirely trust these official polls. They feed us, Alice. I mean, they could publish an official poll saying that over 99.9% of children like ice cream, and I would instantly assume that all children now hate all ice cream and would prefer to eat a bucket of gravel mixed with dead badger. They could publish an official poll saying that 10 out of 10 cats prefer cat food to being whacked with a tennis racket, and I would assume
Attention,
all cats have
flat
gone
tire
vegan
detected.
and are queuing up
Please
outside
repair
windows
as soon as
without
possible.
I trust these polls as much as I trust someone recommending a movie that they watched during a breakup. Your judgment is impaired, Sally. I'll make my own decisions.
I trust those polls as much as I would trust Mary Kelly if she came up to me and said, "Congratulations, Andy, you've just won a free holiday to the south of France in the back of this windowless van."
I think official polls are like the unsolicited dick pics that the government provides us. I didn't ask for it, I don't believe it, it's on an angle, you've artificially inflated it
Attention,
ahead of time.
flat
and
tire
anyone that
detected.
falls for one
Please
deserves
repair
all
as
the
soon as
disappointment of
possible.
trying to match it to reality. These polls are absolute rubbish, Andy. I read one the other day that said the plumbing in London was good, and it absolutely is not. I mean, well, we have this technology now where they can spy on my every bowel movement. There's a CTOS camera installed inside my underwear drawer. A media drone is scaring the birds off my garden bird feeder, and it can't get me consistently hot water.
Speaking of media drones, they're everywhere. The great thing, I guess, about media drones is that, as in animal robots, they actually have more humanity, compassion, and dignity than the human drones.
Attention, flat tire detected. Please repair as
Moral
soon as
compass,
possible.
But it's the intrusion I can't stand, Alice. I'm in showbiz. Look at me here in this windowless dungeon. I'm in showbiz. And it's terrible for me that all these drones going on being filmed all the time, every day. I have to make sure I've done my hair and makeup and not wearing clothes I've never worn before. We all have troubles with that.
At this point, they've installed so many CTOS cameras, I'm not sure where they'll put the new ones. On top of the old ones, just cameras watching other cameras like a social media influencer so self-absorbed they don't know how to sleep without...
Attention, flat tire detected. Repair as soon as possible.
Where just everything has just become a camera filming another camera. To be honest, I've just given up on all news and reality now, Alice. I just, in fact, I now just make up my own headlines. Like a piece of paper and a pen. Remember them? Paper and pens, those are the days. And I'll just write down the headlines I want to read. I'll just make my own newspaper. Here I've got today. If you point at the bird shit on your car window and say it's a currency, no one can tell you otherwise. Screams Chancellor at Bilderberg karaoke night.
Attention, flat tire detected. Please repair as soon as possible.
After swapping all Crown Estate properties for some magic beans. But I've got to do something, so that's the nation we are today. Here's another one. Wild joy on the streets as Britain signs £864 zillion trade deal with Bolivia. There we go. Build a better world. Government claims only nice people will benefit from agreement to sell trampolines, mermaids and warships to landlocked South American nations. We're building a better Britain. Here's another one. Environment probably fine, claims drowning scientist. Invent the world you want to have, people. It's going to be way, way better.
Attention, flat tire
got
detected.
from the bug.
Please repair as soon as possible.
From the Buccaneer, this is the bug.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and you're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about Dev Hassani, our gone, but sadly not forgotten Prime Minister. It's strange to think that he was just another
Attention, flat tire detected.
Until his
Please
infamous
repair
London
as
is
soon as
drowning
possible.
speech went viral. The forces of darkness he unleashed with that speech changed everything around us. Was Hassani's rise inevitable? Could it have been stopped? And what happens when democracy starts to breed the ideas that can destroy it? Using back channels and underground contacts, we got in touch with political analysts and historians to find out how it's possible for cynical, short-term leaders like our beloved Prime Minister to give birth to political nightmares. No full names, as you know. These days, telling the truth can get you killed.
Attention, flat tire detected. Please repair as soon as possible.
Back in the pre-censorship days.
The appeal of fascist politics is about strong men, and they are usually men, because it's about saying there are simple problems that are really easy to define, say immigration, and there are simple solutions to them, stop immigration. And they are really appealing because they make sense of a world that can often feel really complicated and confusing, and they do offer, or seem to offer, action, instead of what politics can often be, which is a kind of messy set of compromises where no one gets really what they want, everyone gets a little bit of it. And that's the problem, really, is you end up in a situation where it looks like someone is going to do something incredible and transformative.
Please repair as soon as possible.
Either it never really delivers, or it delivers at a huge cost to, for example, dehumanising people. And I think you see that in the rhetoric around immigration.
Attention, flat tire detected. Please repair as soon as possible.
Hello, Bugsters. Welcome to the Bug, the comedy show that holds up the Medusa of satire to the already immovably concrete foe of modern.
It's all done. Our robot will send you the coordinates of the drugs. Your friend should be fine.
I don't know how to repay you.
So, do you want to fight? Not me, just in general. For Dedsec.
Yeah, why not? I'm in.
I can't believe people are still so fucking stupid they fall for any type of propaganda. I mean, be a good fucking war, huh?
The Bug. Objective voice of objection for a most objectionable world. Hello, Bugsters. Welcome to The Bug, the comedy show that holds up the Medusa of satire to the already immovably concrete face of modern Britain. I'm Andy. I bench 480. And I can crack a tree in half just... looking at it. Can I? Well, what is reality anymore, anyway? Alice, what do you bench?
I bench body weights.
Right.
Well, not my body weight.
Okay.
Body weight of a baby.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to give that kind of detail.
It's very impressive. People look at me and go, where did you get that baby?
Yeah.
Auto drive now enabled.
You are listening to The Bug.
In this week's Truth News, according to an official poll, 98% of Londoners are very happy with CTOS.
Auto drive now
and
enabled.
I am not sure that I agree with this, Andy. I don't think 98% of Londoners have ever in the history of London ever
Auto
agreed
drive
on
now
anything.
disabled.
You could not get 98% of Londoners to agree that oxygen was better than breathing a fog of raw liquid feces. And they expect us to believe that everyone agrees CTOS is better than not choking on shit mist.
Maybe they just meant 98% of one specific Londoner who bought shares in Bloom before its tentacles grew into every crevice of the country. I mean, this is not just any old poll, we should say that. This is not any poll. This is an official poll, right from the very heart of government. It's not a knock-off fake poll of an elderly couple and their mangy old dog sitting on a bench waiting to die. This is an official poll. So let's just put those words, official poll, through an online translator in case you didn't study languages. Let's find out what it actually means. Made up lie. There we go. Glad to clear that up. I think it's fair to say, entirely trust these official polls they feed us, Alice. I mean, they could publish an official poll saying that over 99.9% of children like ice cream, and I would instantly assume that all children now hate all ice cream and would prefer to eat a bucket of gravel mixed with dead badger. They could publish an official poll saying that 10 out of 10 cats prefer cat food to being whacked with a tennis racket, and I would assume that all cats have gone vegan and were queuing up outside Wimbledon meowing, choose me, choose me.
I trust these polls as much as I trust someone recommending a movie that they watched during a breakup. Your judgment is impaired, Sally. I'll make my own decisions.
I trust those polls as much as I would trust Mary Kelly if she came up to me and said, "Congratulations, Andy, you've just won a free holiday to the south of France in the back of this windowless van."
I think official polls are like the unsolicited dick pics that the government provides us. I didn't ask for it, I don't believe it, it's on an angle, you've artificially inflated it ahead of time, and anyone that falls for one deserves all the disappointment of trying to match it to reality. These polls are absolute rubbish, Andy. I read one the other day that said the plumbing in London was good, and it absolutely is not. I mean, we have this technology now where they can spy on my every bowel movement. There's a CTOS camera installed inside my underwear drawer. A media drone is scaring the birds off my garden bird feeder, and you can't get me consistently hot water.
Speaking of media drones, I mean, they're everywhere, clearly. The great thing, I guess, about media drones is that, as inanimate robots, they actually have more humanity, compassion and dignity than the human journalists we used to have to put up with, and a much more accurately calibrated moral compass. But it's the intrusion I can't stand, Alice. I'm in showbiz. Look at me here in this windowless dungeon. I'm in showbiz. And it's terrible for me, all these drones, knowing I'm being filmed all the time. Every day I have to make sure I've done my hair and makeup and not wearing clothes I've ever worn before. Well, we all have crosses to bear.
At this point, they've installed so many CTOS cameras, I'm not sure where they'll put the new ones. On top of the old ones, just cameras watching other cameras, like a social media influencer so self-absorbed they don't know how to sleep without turning it into monetized content.
I think that's the logical end of all society, isn't it? Where just everything has just become a camera filming another camera. To be honest, I've just given up on all news and reality now, Alice. I just, in fact, I now just make up my own headlines these days. I get a piece of paper and a pen. Remember them? Paper and pens, those were the days. And I'll just write down the headlines I want to read. Now, I'll just make my own newspaper. Look, here I've got today. If you point at the bird shit on your car window and say it's a currency, no one can tell you otherwise. Screams Chancellor at Bilderberg karaoke night. That's right.
Auto drive now disabled.
PM announces Britain back on track after swapping all Crown Estate properties for some magic beans. Got to do something as the nation we are today. Here's another one. Wild joy on the streets as Britain signs £864 zillion trade deal with Bolivia. There we go. Build a better world. Government claims only nice people will benefit from agreement to sell trampolines, mermaids and warships to landlocked South.